It has been a remarkable journey for double lung transplant recipient Hélène Campbell, one that's transformed her into one of the most well-known advocates for organ and tissue donation. Now, if you don't remember her name, you might recognize her bright smile and her jubilant, infectious spirit. It even caught the attention in 2012 of Justin Bieber and Ellen DeGeneres. Well, her advocacy continues to this day, and for those efforts, she is being honored in her hometown of Ottawa. Tonight, she will be presented with the key to the city. We reached Hélène Campbell at her home in Ottawa this morning. So, Hélène, I hope we've got you there. Tell us, first of all, congratulations. Tell us what went through your mind when you got this phone call from the mayor, Jim Watson, saying, hey, we're going to present you with the key to the city.
For someone who likes to talk a lot, I was very, very speechless. I didn't know what to say. I was so honored. And I mean, I think for a success story like mine to be so successful, it takes a lot of parts to come together. And one of the biggest parts that really came together in this was community. And I think being honored with the key to the city and having the reception tonight is a great way for me to thank the amazing community of Ottawa who came together and really rallied to support my story and honored it. And I'm just so grateful to my donor, right? Because if it weren't for them, this wouldn't be happening. So I have a lot to be thankful for.
You know, you described your work as being successful, and I don't think anybody would debate that. But for us, tell us how you measure that success. What are the markers for you?
Well, I think the first marker came to me when I initially launched this Twitter campaign, and the goal was to get Justin Bieber to retweet about organ donation, just to get the message circulating within a different demographic. And we hadn't yet heard from him, but they said, Hélène, you know, we've seen a increase in donation by 500%. People are registering. And I thought, I don't care if Justin Bieber doesn't reply at this point. Like, the fact that we got a 500% increase in registration in Ontario alone, I think that was pretty amazing. So that was a marker for me. And then there have been so many incredible moments since then that have really created a success thing. But it hasn't been me all alone. I'm just the story.
Tell us about that. It hasn't been you all alone. Who else has been on this journey with you?
Well, Natasha, there have been so many people included in this, and I can't start naming them one by one because we'll be here for hours. But, you know, I look at my family and my really close friends, and that's a start. And then I think about community leaders here in Ottawa and in Toronto who really stepped up to take my story and bring it into their communities. And then I take the media who really, really took what I was trying to do and honored my story. They didn't turn it into something like Hélène seeks attention from Justin Bieber. It was really organ donation. A girl who is waiting on organ donation wishes to raise awareness for organ and tissue donation. And I think I need to thank the media for that. And then on a greater scale, the Prime Minister at the time really showed leadership. So there are just so many pieces. You know, I call it the ripple effect. I threw a stone in the water and I just watched the waves, you know, take their way. And then, you know, Justin Bieber got on board, Ellen DeGeneres, and incredible other people that like I said, we'd be here for a while, Natasha.
You know, if you go from Ellen DeGeneres, Justin Bieber, the Prime Minister, and the person who donated to you, that you became the recipient, like you said, this huge ripple effect right across the country, around the world. But you really are at the center of this incredible movement. How does that feel? Do you sometimes get overwhelmed by how big this thing has become?
It certainly is overwhelming. I never thought something so simple as this idea that I had about tweeting to the Biebs at the time. And to be honest, like it wasn't because I was a huge Bieber fan. It was really, we need a young voice. And it really helped me cope with my story. It helped me cope with the situation I was living, because I lived a completely normal life until the age of 20 when I started having respiratory problems. And I mean, I had been misdiagnosed with asthma as a child, but you know, it wasn't as bad until I turned 20 and breathing just got harder and harder. And then I realized that I had lived this really, really incredible life. I had been able to experience so much. I took a lot for granted, and suddenly my life was put on pause. I was on oxygen. I had to walk at 1/8 the speed, and I really needed to learn how to slow down and appreciate the little things in life. And I forget our question. That's part of the meds that I'm on. But You know, I think for me, in all of this, what I really take from this is that people are willing to jump on board to support a story that is positive. And I think in the world where there are so many things going on, we hear negative things. It's just great to hear a change in that pace and take something that you know, inspires us with hope. And it helped me cope with my situation. You know, how could I help others when I felt helpless? And so that's a big part of you know, I'm so honored, and I never thought that I'd be here today to accept anything like this.
Well, we're glad you're here. We're glad everything is going well. We wish you continued health and success on your mission. And once again, Hélène, congratulations. Organ and tissue donation advocate Hélène Campbell joining us from Ottawa.